Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 929 Rosebud Court here in Forest Grove. We are located, I describe everything as if you're standing in the street facing the front door. We are sitting in front of the garage here under a steel cover plate. You've got a 3-inch, it's actually got a 4-inch cap on it, but the pipe itself here is actually 3-inch. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water's running. We are zeroed out, and off we go here. These are one of these unique sewer lines, not unique in my most favorite way, in that basically 100% of your line is under concrete. Whether it's driveway, street, or the garage floor itself, it is just end-to-end concrete. So very, very good on you to do a scope on a line like this. These are very expensive lines to repair if you have to. Swap into 4-inch 3034 PVC pipe. Thus far, we're looking good here. And at the end, when the line's drained off, I'll run the camera backwards under the garage floor and make sure that stuff looks good too. Basically, once we get to the foundation wall, all that pipe is exposed piping. That's stuff the home inspector can look at with their eyeballs. Don't need a camera for it. My camera's upside down right now. I was just going to point out, if you see that little gunk sticking out of the pipe joint, which right now is at the bottom of the screen, that is a substance called, there's a few names for it, but it's called duck butter. It's like Vaseline. They put that on the pipe ends. That way when they shove the two different pipe ends together in a coupler, it allows them to slam all the way up against each other flush. They don't stop shy. Sometimes you'll have it's very common on new construction to see a little bit of that at some of the pipe joints oozing out. Sometimes you'll see it at every pipe joint, but anyway, I get asked sometimes what that substance is. I just wanted to answer that question in case it did come up. There's the main there at about 62 feet. We're going to go locate really quick here while the pipe drains, and we'll pull back in. Alrighty, located the camera head. So the line basically pops out at the front right corner of the garage. The line then jaunts to the left side of the driveway. It looks like it straightens out. There's kind of an extra little piece of concrete. It's different colored than the driveway proper is. It's more of an aggregate kind of gray color. The line straightens out in that area right there and then shoots off into the street. If you go and look at the front left corner of the driveway, where the driveway meets the street, you'll see an S stamped in the curb there. That's right where the sewer line crosses into the street, in case you're curious what that is or where the line's going. So far, great looking line here. My foot counter is not counting backwards for some funny reason. I think I bumped my camera. But fabulous looking line. No construction debris or anything in the line so far. That is the main issue I find in general on new construction. And I have got it looks like you have got the ever so slightest amount of standing water right here. It is just teeny tiny. Yeah, although that stuff is still moving there. I've got a little bit of a light glare on my face right now. It is so minute. I'll review the video at home, but I mean, what we're talking about there is like 30/2 of an inch of water at most, if it's even standing at all. Anyway, nice looking piece of pipe there. Drains off very nicely. That little dangly right there is a little bit of excess pipe glue, if you're wondering what that is. No big deal. Those are thin. They flap out of the way and eventually snap off. Anyway, I get pretty nitpicky on new construction, quite a bit more so than your average lived-in homes. But even I still live in reality on these things. If we've got, 1/16 of an inch, 1/4 inch of water, it's not until I start hitting about the 1/2 inch of water mark where I start recommending repairs, where my typical breaking point is around 1 inch. After 25,000 sewer scopes that I've done over my career, a lot of drain cleaning, plenty of repairs, you really don't start seeing much in the way of issues in plastic pipe till you're exceeding 1 inch of standing water, and usually it's still almost entirely up to the homeowner. The reason I get a little more concerned on new construction about standing water is the line's been in the ground for such a short period of time. Sometimes they can remain in a state of settling for a little bit. I'll have to review the video here. I can't tell this white driveway is reflecting so much sun on my face right now. That's either glue there spanning the top of the pipe, possibly a nail, which would not be crazy to see in new construction. I'll review the video. I may recommend some drain cleaning, but that's at the top of the sewer pipe there. Way at the top. Where my camera right now, again, is upside down. So that may be something that recommends some cleaning on. Either way, it's at the top of the line where it poses almost no risk of causing a flow problem. But if it's just a little bit of excess pipe glue strung across there, that's not something to worry about. Honestly, a nail isn't either. Even if that broke loose there, that thing would have to be anchored into the joint quite effectively and sitting in a different position to actually cause flow problems. So there may be something on the report about that after I review the video in better lighting. But otherwise, very nice looking sewer line. Great flow end to end. Nothing about that line there or the things that I mentioned are doing anything to affect functionality. Great flow end to end, superbly clean line, and it is functioning properly at this time. But look out for the report. I may recommend some cleaning on that if there's something there. You know, if there's any kind of foreign debris in the line, I usually recommend it be cleaned. And part of that is liability related, granted. But you need a pretty good size nail in the line. And the reality is, if it is a tiny nail, if it does pop loose, water flow will carry it out of the sewer line. So not a huge concern there either way.